Hi, I'm Teresa with PotomacBeads. Today we'll be working on Sabine Lippert's Tchacka Boom Bangle with spiky buttons and 11 seed beads. Gather the supplies and let's start working. So today we will be working on a special pattern. It's not our pattern, it's pattern done by Sabine Lippert, who gave us her permission to make a video tutorial for it. So I will try and do my best and create it as good as it gets, basically. So we will be working with spiky buttons. The original pattern calls for 6 colors. I tested it before and I decided to go down only to 4, but you can definitely go to 6 if you want to. And then you will need 11 O's. Also, the original pattern calls for only 1 color, but I think in the video description, since we will be working with netting stitch, it will be easier for you to see if I alternate the colors, so you will see through which bead we will be going. So that's why I have here 2 colors. So I have 4 spiky button colors in total. I named them A, B, C, D. So Sabine also has EF, which I don't have here, and I will be just working with these, which I like and I picked to be more prominent, and 4 for me is enough. So the one thing you have to have in mind is that the A and C colors, there will be more of them, so almost at least twice as many, sorry. So choose the colors which you like more for these 2, because those will be visible more often. And then you have B, D, and there's less of them in the pattern. So I'm working with henna thread. You can work with some other fabric based thread like Miyuki or Sonokono. I'm working with single thread. Sabine also says you can work with double thread because of the tension. The tension needs to be quite thick, quite like strong, so that the finished design is nice and strong. So this was my test done with 6 colors, and it will look like this. So you have the netting on the back, also the netting in the front, but this time the netting has spiky buttons in it, and it creates a lovely pattern. The spiky buttons are on the outside and this part will be leaning on your hand. In the end it will be a bangle, so a bracelet without a clasp. So on my thread I'm working with a comfortable length of thread, which is like an arm span for me, because you will have to add thread probably many times, since it is netting and you need to make quite a big bangle around your wrist. So definitely don't choose something extremely long, but work with what is comfortable for you. And you need to start stringing some beads. So string 1A, then an orange 11 1B, orange 11 1A, orange 11 1B, spiky button, orange 11 and 1A, spiky button. And then you need to string 11 O's, which will be either the same color if you decide, or alternating colors like I have here, starting with the orange and finishing with the orange. So I have 11 seed beads here. Then go through the beads from the other side to create a circle. You don't have to do it at once. It will reinforce the base. So we reach the last bead, and then go also through the first spiky button A, the first 11 and the spiky button B. So this is the first step. So now we will move over to the spiky button C. So we have A and B already, so we now need the C. We will always be adding, since this is a netting stitch, a group of 3 beads. It will be either 2 11-ohs and a spiky button between them, or 3 11-ohs at once on the back side. So here pick the orange 11-oh, spiky button C, and orange 11-oh, and then we will always go through the middle bead out of the group of 3, which means that now I am going through the spiky button B only. Now position the spiky button so that the spike is pointing out. Keep the tension, it's very important. And we will be adding more beads. So I'm picking again orange 11-oh, spiky button C, orange 11-oh, and now it's the time when that's the time because sorry, not my day today. Basically now I'm going through this one, the brown one. That's the one which is in the middle of the 3 beads, keeping the tension like this. So no more spiky buttons now, but you'll be adding 3 11-ohs at once. So orange, brown, orange, skipping 3 beads and going through the next brown like this. Again, orange, brown, orange, and going through the brown one, and I'm again at the spiky button part. So you will see that the orange beads are above each other and the brown beads will be above each other. The same way the spiky buttons are sitting on top of each other too. So you're exiting a brown bead, pick a orange bead, and we are still with the spiky button C and orange bead. And now you are going through the spiky button B, and that finishes the row. And this is the reason why you have the color A and color C. There's more of them, because you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and only 2 spiky button Bs. So that's why you will need more of the colors you chose to be A or C. So this was the end of the row, and now you need to step up, and you will always step up to the middle bead of the next group. So in this case it will be spiky button C, but it is similar to peyote, so the step up point will move, so later you will reach the beads here, so you will be stepping up through the brown beads in the sections of 11-oh beads. Now we will move over to the spiky button D. So I'm again picking 1 orange 11-oh, 1 spiky button D, orange 11-oh, and as usual going through the middle bead of the next group, so it's the spiky button C. Pull, keep the tension, position the spiky button, and now we are already at the seed bead section. So pick 1 orange, 1 brown, 1 orange, and go through the next brown bead. Now it's already picking up the netting pattern, so the brown beads will be sticking out, so that will be helpful for you. So you can see there's like a window here, the windows of the net. Again, more beads, so orange, brown, orange, another group of 3, and I'm going through the next brown bead, which is the middle bead of the next group of 3. Now I'm reaching almost the spikes. So one orange, one brown, one orange, like this, and going through the spiky button C, because it's the middle bead of its group. And now we'll be adding the second D spiky button, so pick orange, D, and orange, and go then through the spiky button C you started from. Position the bead and pull, and now you need to step up again. So again, stepping up through to the middle bead of the next group, which is now the spiky button D, the first one we added. And now like this it will continue on. So I'm going back to the color A. If you would have 6 colors, you would go again and pick not D, not A, but color E, and then in the next row color F. So I'm picking one orange, one A, one orange, and I'm going through the brown bead. Now I am in the seed bead section, so I'm picking 3 seed beads, the middle one is the brown one, and I am going through the middle brown one. And you can already see the beautiful netting. So the beginning is a bit confusing, but then it gains its shape. And it works. So you can also see a pattern that if you are working with A and C colors, you are adding only 2 groups of 3 seed beads, and if you're working with B and D, which are only 2 spiky buttons, on the back you will have to add 3 groups of seed beads. That's also a good thing to watch for. So I'm by the spiky buttons, so I'm going orange, A, orange, and going through the D spiky button. Another one, so orange, A, orange, and finishing in the D spiky button I started from, and stepping up to the spiky button A. And from now on, continue until you reach the length which is comfortable for you to put around your wrist, and then we will connect it and close the bangle. So to show you the stepping up in the seed bead section, so I finished my D row, and I went through the C spiky button, which was the last bead, and now I want to step up. So stepping up through the seed beads means that you will be exiting also through the middle one, but it's not spiky button anymore, it's only the brown seed bead. And from there you will continue as usual, so picking 3 11-0s, going through the next brown one, again picking 3 11-0s, going through the brown one. And now I am switching to the A spiky buttons, going through the D's, again spiky button A, going through the D, and the last A, and here. So I started from this brown bead, so I will also finish there, and I will step up to this brown bead. So this is the stepping up in the seed bead section. Just focus on where you started and like from which bead you started, and you will finish in there, and that will help you. Remember the rule of 3 beads, so you have always 3 beads and you are going through the middle one always, so that will also help you. And from there it's super repetitive. You just need to watch the tension of your thread and position of your beads, so that they are facing the correct side and none of them are turning to the inside of the bracelet. So now I am about to add 3 more beads, again finishing in this brown bead. And stepping up to this one. So continue, and then we will close it up. I have finished the length of the bracelet I need. So I have 22 centimeter on the inner circumference here, and I counted also the beads for you. So for this size, so my wrist has 16 centimeters around, and you need some extra to get the bangle over the knuckles. So for my 22 centimeters, I needed 78A spiky buttons, 78C spiky buttons, 52 B buttons, and 52 also D spiky buttons. Then you will need 8 grams of the color you use most often between the spike buttons and here on the back side, so it's the orange one, and like 2 grams of the darker one. And now the only thing left is to connect the sides. So the only thing you need to be aware of is, so this is my starting side. I started with the A spiky buttons, and you should finish on this side with the D spiky buttons. Finish the whole row so you can connect it together with only the orange seed beads. So it is netting, so we will be basically zipping only the sides. So my thread is now coming out of the brown bead, so it doesn't matter from which bead here, because it depends on how many times you added the thread, where you started after that and stuff like that. So it just, you need to be sure that it exits from some of the middle beads. Then you pick your first orange 11-0, and you need to find the spot where you will zip the sides. So I have 3 brown beads here at the top, and here I have only 2, which means that I will zip them together like this. Now it's quite difficult to see, I'm sorry, but here when I hold it like this, you can see that the 2 brown beads will be lying between the next ones. So this is the first one I need to go through. Yes. Then I'm picking another one, and the next bead for the zip is this brown one. And pull. You really need to hold the tension here. Then I am picking another orange, and the next bead I'm zipping to is this A spiky button. Then I can turn. Be sure that the spiky buttons are facing up. So another orange bead, and then I zip into this D spiky button. Another orange to the middle A spiky button. Pull. 11-0 and to the second D spiky button. Another one, and to this spiky button here. And now try to really pull so that there are no threads showing. So I am sure I have some loose tension here because it's very difficult to hold, so I will just go through the beads one more time. But we are not finished yet. So another A bead, and I'm going to this brown one here. Another A. Just be sure that you are not crossing with your thread the bangle, so you are not tangled in it. So with my bead going here to this brown one, oh sorry, lost the needle, this brown one, and finally the last bead. So it will be the one I started from. This is a bit difficult, you need to position it all the time, and I will show you in a moment. This one. And that's it. That's the zipping part. You shouldn't see anything. So all the beads are in, also here. It's a bit loose, I think. It's not that bad. So I will reinforce the zip, then I will knot the thread, and then the bangle is finished. And this is the Tchacka Boom bracelet in all its glory. So you need basically spiky buttons, some fabric based thread like Miyuki thread, Sonoko Nozue thread, henna thread 1G and stuff like that, and 11-0s. That's all the beads you need. So thank you very much for watching. We also thanks very much to Sabine Lippert, the creator of this pattern, who allowed us to create this video for you. And if you finish this piece, you can post the pictures in our beading and jewelry making group on Facebook. We will be happy to see them. And thank you very much for watching, and see you in some other video of PotomacBeads.